you have Juve, the night just before the parade, and then the parade. So, and the parade is all day. So the breakfast starts it off. And the breakfast kicks off at about 8:30. And then from the breakfast, they walk from the breakfast to the parade route. And then they get on the parade route, and then they're being judged as they're coming up. So the judges are at the museum waiting and, you know, judging them, their formation and stuff like that. So yeah, it's realistically, it's all day. I want to say maybe about 12 hours. It's a long.
Oh my goodness.
It's supposed to end officially, I think, at about 6 or 7, but they're not really off the parkway yet. Yeah.
Right. So I love it.
Here is the 2010, 2011 part of the coverage we did back then. This is the first, like I said, the first time that ever live streaming of major events that took place. And so we were the first. Kalalua was the first, and here was the first event that we did with our partners in New York, Zing TV.
Okay.
The city of Frederiksted in St. Croix is a hub of activity for the Crucian Christmas Festival. Virgin Islanders and visitors fill the streets and the boardwalk for the big carnival parade days. Crucians know how to play mass first class as over 60 bands compete for the winning titles during the Children Parade Day and the Adult Parade Day. We got in the middle of all the action, music, color, and competition during the Children and Adult parades as we teamed up with Kalaloo.com to present live programming during their video streaming of both parades online.
Welcome to Zing TV New York. We're in the beautiful island of St. Croix for the Crucian Christmas Festival. Right now, as you can see, we're in the middle of the Children's Parade. We're not letting go. All aboard for this St. Croix ship. Let's go. And welcome. This is the final day of the St. Croix Festival. Okay, we're talking the Crucian Christmas Festival 2011. I'm going to be your host, your guide for the day. I'm rolling with my crew from Kalaloo.com. I'm going to jump into my sunbug. This is my exclusive hot ride for the day. For those of you who don't know, a sunbug is completely powered by solar energy. And St. Croix is so sunny and so beautiful. We have enough heat to last us all day. So as we go green, right here on Zing TV New York Links, we're going green on Kalaloo.com. We got Anthony Weeks rapping St. Croix. We got Sean Field rapping Barbados. Behind the camera is Eon from Zing TV rapping Jamaica. And you know your girl from Trinidad. So we're going up and down this parade route. We're going to whine, we're going to jump, we're going to wave, and we're going to find out exactly what makes the Crucian Christmas Festival so special. Are you from St. Croix? Oh, we're from Miami. Oh, great, stand up. Are you ready to whine, Mercedes? Yes. We're doing a whine for St. Croix. We're doing a whine for Kalaloo.com. We're doing a whine for Miss Mercedes right here. 1, 2, 3, whine, whine, whine. This is the man you need to blame. He is the president of the St. Croix Festival Committee. Now listen, we have been up and down so far. The parade hasn't even reached down this end of the route yet. And already there's excitement. Now
we got 60 entries.
Wow.
Actually, we got over 500 people, so we'll be here a while today.
Oh, we're going to be here for a while. For those of you who don't know this gentleman, this is David Charlemagne, president of the St. Croix Festival Committee.
world, Tyson Beckford. How are you going, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not as good as you.
I'm just chilling.
You've been here in St. Croix all week.
Yeah,
What are you enjoying?
like New Year's. So.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
What are you enjoying most about the island so far?
I like how it's just relaxed, no pressure. You know what I mean? And we've been here so long and we haven't. Nobody's really know that we're here. So I like that about St. Croix.
I am joined by the none other Senator Positive Terrence Nelson. Happy New Year to
Hey,
you.
Happy New Year to you and welcome to 2011 in the Virgin Islands, everybody.
Yes, and tell me one of the favorite things that you see today during the parade.
What I like most about Festival and Parade is the intermingling of the diversity of the Virgin Islands. One big melting pot on the street, on the side, having one good fun. I love it. And unity, and I love it. All the best for the new year, everybody. Stay positive.
This is what you call a real Trinity rhythm section. Oh.
This is the last band I hear coming down here, right?
Yeah, Express.
And the Express.
And they're mashing it up.
We right here in the middle of things at Carnival at St. Croix. You having a good time today?
I'm having a blast.
You're crucial as well?
Yes, I am.
You see that? Nothing but pretty people here for St. Croix enjoying Carnival. We on the road here with all of these cruciates in the place. And we having a ball right here for St. Croix Cruciate Festival.
All right, you just saw Express Band come down the parade. They're the big band here in St. Croix. One of the many big bands here in St. Croix. As you can see, the crowd's still moving. This party ain't done yet. Once again, we've been streaming live on Callaloo.com. This is Zing TV, New York Links, bringing you all the excitement from St. Croix. You never know which festival, which carnival, which island we're going to be on next. So you know what to do. Keep it locked right here. It's about community. It's about New York. It's about you. It's about New York Links.
Love it. I love her accent.
Oh, yes. I love the colors. The colors were awesome. You know, the theme, the colors. The young people were all in sync. Real outfits. Those were nice. I was like that.
I wish I had those dance moves.
Hello. She said, wine.
I don't know if someone put me on the spot like that. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably freeze.
Nice. So Terry, so you do participate in the New York City West Indian Day Parade? Because I mean, I saw you move. You got to move. So I know you do, right?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Of course I do. When I worked for Senator Schumer, I actually used to put together the crew to accompany him to the parade. And so, I had all the young people that I mentored over years, and they would come out with me to the parade. And sometimes it would be as much as 20, 25, 30 of us walking in the parade route with him. So yeah, of course.
Wow.
Of course. And I also partake in eating too. Yes.
Yeah. Now this next piece is with Jessica covering the food fair. So Terry, what we normally do, I think 2 days before the big parades is the actual food fair, right? Oh. And so they have this real big spread on the waterfront with all the best local cooks, right, throughout the island. And so wow. Jessica, and it was raining that day. It's funny. It was because we would try to film while it was raining. It was wild. Right, Jessica? Wasn't that wild, Jessica?
Oh yeah, we remember. It was like all of a sudden it started raining, and we had went into cover, and then
came back out.
It was a good turnout, and it was funny, Terry, that my kids, my daughter brought one of her friends, right, and they made like the front page of the paper.
Oh,
you couldn't tell who they were because they were just walking with their umbrellas, but it was but no, they had some good food there.
Wow, amazing.
I mean, I just love that time of year.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love it.
So here is the the piece, and before we get into that, that's just a snapshot of, you know, see Jessica. I think she was interviewing, I think the co-hosting, I believe, the person in charge of marketing at tourism, right, Jessica?
Tourism. Yeah, it was tourism. Yes.
Yes. And so, Jessica, why don't you give us a little background as to what you did that day, and what did you learn that day, and what was your takeaway when we did that first food fair together?
So that was probably one of our first projects that we really worked together on. And we talked to tourism, and we got to actually really interview the Department of Tourism. She is actually marketing out of St. Thomas, I believe. But it was really, really nice because I got to meet all the different food vendors, you know, personally. Like, what do you showcase? What's your signature dish? Is it tamarind balls, or is it like the local drinks? Is it the pâtés, which were amazing that day? You know, my kids love the conch and butter, so do I. That's like one of my, okra. You know, that's like one of those things like I always order. But it was really, really nice to just engage one-on-one with all the locals, food vendors, because I only see them, to be honest with you. You know, this was the first time that I got to have an interview with them, or an ag fair, to be honest with you, to like really, you know, they were like, that's the person you want to go get the pâtés from. That's the conch person. This is the red beans and the red pea soup, you know, with those dumplings. I don't even know how they make those dumplings, because I make dumplings all the time, but those dumplings are damn good.
All right. So
and the local drinks, like who has the best local drink? Who has the best peanut punch? Who has, you know? So for me, it was really good to connect with the locals and like learn their names and figure out what they specialize in. And then, then you have all the people selling their products as well. Yeah. And we got to interview a couple of those too.
So let's go to the food fair and hear how, hear what Jessica discovered that year.
Okay.
Last year.
We're here at the 2020 Crucian Christmas Festival at the food fair here in Frederiksted, and we're trying to beat the rain, right, Alani? Yes. Okay. We had Alani Hedeman Todman here, Director of Communications for the Department of Tourism. Thank you for showing me around today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for, showcasing the food fair and all the great things that we have to offer under the divisions of festival for the Department of Tourism.
Of course. Now, with the food fair, this is one of my favorite events, and I'm sure one of your favorite events as well. So how many food vendors do you have out here today? Have you kind of looked around and kind of got a
we have a number of vendors, but it's a nice compilation of not only food vendors, but there are also artisans, and there are people selling paintings and different things. I would say easily over maybe 25 vendors we have out and more. The tents are big. There's a lot under each tent, and so we're just enjoying the event, and it's our first one under the divisions of festival, so we expect next year to be even better.
Right. Well, I think it's nice. I mean, it is raining a little bit, but will you show me around?
Of course. Enjoy our liquid sunshine. It only rains for so much.
And real quick, we want to showcase the band playing here in a little bit, but who was the band today?
I do believe it's Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights for their 50th anniversary.
Oh, and they are well-known, established Crucian men.
Exactly. And of course, they will play our Quilvay music, which is the music of the Virginette.
Of course. Well, show me around. First off, let's eat some food. Is that okay?
Sure, no problem.
Okay. So whenever you set up the vendors, do we have all the food in one area and the artists in a different area, or do you guys try to like space it out accordingly?
It's mixed, and usually as we walk through, there's local drinks and local desserts, hot sauce, everybody from just desserts. There are also people here with the sorbetiers and giving us the local passion fruit and tamarind ice creams and gelato. And then most of the food vendors are scattered through, and there are some artisans in between. So it's a nice mix. So you have to walk around and really embrace what the culture and the island is about if you come down to the food fair.
And I love it that it's right here in Frederiksted with the beautiful beautiful sea view.
Of course, there's no place else like Fredericksburg. And you have the pear in the background, you have the rustic fort, and I mean the natural vibe of St. Croix is so enticing, but Fredericksburg has its own charm.
It does, it really does. And I love coming out here.
And so you see the ladies repping well in her division, a festival shirt that we gave out. We gave those out for Cultural Night in the Village. Hi. And you can say hello. This is our St. John administrator.
Hi. Jessica Kyler, Korean Food Network. Thank you. Yes.
And my stomach. Yes. And it's one band, one sound. So everybody is here for Christian Christmas Festival.
Excellent.
So
I'm following your lead.
Our Moravian church has one of the longest lines. Even in the rain, it's not going down. And so I'll let them tell you a little bit about what they have, so you can get an idea of what a typical food vendor would have.
Excellent.
Okay.
Fine.
Yum, yum.
What did you end up getting to eat?
A barbecue chicken.
All right, Anthony, I'm going to go behind here. Is that okay? All right, let's come down. Okay. They're getting the pasture for us, but this is great. So they must have very good food here. I always judge the food with the long lines. Oh, hi. Thank you for making time out of your busy schedule with this long line that you have here. You know, we have a small window with no rain, but let's talk about who you're representing and what's on the menu today.
Hi, good day and Happy New Year.
New Year.
New Year to everyone looking and listening. This is the Friedensburg Moravian Church congregation. We are right here in Fredericksburg, right up on the hill. And we've been doing this about 20 years now, close to 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're well seasoned.
Definitely. We're one of the #1 boot sellers here. And this is our organist right here, Mr. Alvin Milligan. We've been here about 20 years doing this, right?
Just about.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I'm Jessica from the Caribbean Food Network. So let's talk a little bit about your menu before the rain kind of hits down on us.
Well, we had roast pork, roast goat. We had sauce and potato salad, fried fish, bacon, barbecue chicken. And I did say roast pork and roast goat, right? Yes, and all the trimmings, right?
So we have to come early to get food from you guys.
Oh, yes. Listen, at 11 o'clock, the lines were long here already. And the ceremony started at 12.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you very much. Nice meeting you.
Likewise.
And check us out on Caribbean Food Network.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Anthony. Can we come under real quick?
So that's that nice shower.
Those were the days without masks.
Food vendors, and then artists as well. So let's go try to find an artist.
Yeah. So so it was a bit of a challenge, Terry, but Jessica's a trooper, so she made it work.
Jessica made it work. She made it work. Sitting here talking about the Caribbean food and all the trimmings. I'm like, why? Now I'm hungry.
I know.
But Terry, that is a big deal. That food fair during the festival, it's like for people who, let's say, don't really participate throughout all the activities, but they will make it for the food fair.
Really?
If they don't do anything else,
They'll come
will
for
do the food fair. You know?
food, Anthony. I mean, who doesn't? It was so funny. I was working out with my trainer, and he's like, you know, it's all about what you eat. And I was like, yeah, but I eat for a living. Like, you know, he was like, your diet, you know, like, are you eating? And I was like, I eat what's in front of me. Like, I eat everything. You know, he was like, okay. And he's like all natural. So he's a vegan and, you know, only coconut, you know, so he's coconut water. And I was like,
yeah, no,
it doesn't work like that for me because I eat everything.
Speaking of food, your chef, guest chef is on the, let's bring him up. Say hi to him. Where did he go? Did he disappear? He was just there.
There he is. Hi, Burton.
Chef Burton Pedersen, how are you?
Thank you. How you doing?
Good. That looks delicious. What's in front of you, Chef Burton?
Well, today we have for special starfish, dumpling, okra, sweet potatoes, green banana, and boiled egg.
So Terry, Chef Burton, he owns Cast Iron Pot, which is one of the best local restaurants on St. Croix. Like, it's amazing. Whenever I have company in town, that's where we go. Okay. And like I said, I always get the cotton butter, but he is amazing. And then Chef Burton, eventually when COVID, you know, unwinds, you'll start doing your catering company as well, correct?
Well, hold that thought. Let's do the intro first, and then we come back. Okay, then you can continue with our special guest, Chef Burton Pedersen, owner of the Cast Iron Pot here on St. Croix. We'll be right back.
I'd like to introduce you to one of the best local chefs here on St. Croix, Chef Burton Pedersen, he owns and runs and is the chef of Cast Iron Pot in Princess of St. Croix. We did a show together. When did we do our show together? Do you remember? Probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We did a show, my Best Bite show.
Yes, that's when it was. Yes, definitely.
Best conch and butter sauce ever. And then he taught me how to make fungi, you know, how you roll it in the ball with the okra and everything. He has lobster on his menu. He has pork chops on his menu. And he is one busy restaurant. And I had family in town, a couple months ago, probably about 2 months ago. And I brought him in there and they're like, this is amazing. Because, you know, when you bring people in from the States and they don't understand like the cuisine down here, like the conch and butter, what's fungi? You know, and then you toss it in the okra and everything. And then your local drinks are amazing as well. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And he's always so professional, Terry.
Okay, yeah, another place for us to come
chef coats on. He does, absolutely. Whenever we would do our chamber events, remember when you would cater our chamber event? Very, very professional. So tell us a little bit about your background before you started Cast Iron.
Well, I started years ago. I worked at the Buccaneer. That was my first job.
The Buccaneer, okay.
That was in the 70s. It's a long time. And then after that, I worked at the Grape Tree Beach Hotel. Then I went to New York. And then I worked at the Waldorf Astoria.
Okay.
But at that time, I worked as a waiter. I did waitering. I wasn't in the back of the house at that time. But when I got to New York and I worked for the Waldorf Astoria, they had a program where you could do culinary arts. So I took part of it. I took into it, and I liked it a little bit, but I still liked the front of the house. So then I came back home and I worked at a place called Bentico Bill, which is now the Rum Runners.
Okay.
And from restaurant to restaurant, there's so many restaurants I can't even tell you all the names. After that, last place I worked, we worked at the Villa Madeline, and then after working there, I was called to go to Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Came back from Afghanistan, they sold Villa Madeline, so we decided, me and my wife, to go into catering. Mm-hmm. We got catering business, and it was really good. But then, over 5 or 6 years after, we decided to open a restaurant.
Nice.
I sit here and say, like,
why not?
It's Burton alone. If it wasn't if it wasn't her behind on me, I would have never been here. Her name is Deborah Peterson, and she's the backbone really of the restaurant. So when Jessica tells you about everything about Burton, I can't say anything without saying something about Deborah. She is basically, and she does some of the recipes too. So some of the drinks, red growth, our dessert, she does that. But going back to getting the restaurant, we started in 5 years ago, 2015. Yeah. And we continue. It's been a rough road. But it's been paying off. It's good. It's like Jessica said, it's nice to actually do local food, and people come from away especially and appreciate it, because one of the things we find out, people are, and especially this last couple months, people been coming and asking for local food. Yeah. So it's been very good, and it's really nice actually showing our culture and actually giving people
food is like music. Food is healing, right? I can remember my best recipes that my grandmother made when I was having a cold, or when I was feeling down, and that dessert that she would pick me up with, kind of thing. So food is like music, it heals. So yeah, I could see, even in your face, like I could see the joy in your face when you talk about the restaurant. So I can imagine, Jessica, another place for us to come visit. Imagine how the food is. So I'm definitely going to partake when I come to an island.
And it's nice because St. Croix, we have, not saying anything about St. Thomas, but I feel like St. Croix, we have a lot of local restaurants, but Cast Iron Pot is definitely one of my favorite restaurants, just so you know, Burton. That's why we feature you on Best Bites when I was doing Best Bites years ago.
Right.
So what I'm curious, okay, so your culinary background, but how did you get your Crucian recipes? I mean, is that from your family, obviously, right?
Well, my family, like I said, my aunt, my grandmother, my mom, they all been into the food business. And I didn't take it that much in the beginning, but then after, I took a piece here and a piece here, and I put it together as a puzzle.
Right.
And actually trying to work on a cookbook. So eventually that might put some of the recipes together. But for instance, I was saying aunt that I used to visit, and the pong seasoning. And I spoke to you about that, Jessica, where you take the seasoning and you add all these ingredients, and it actually enhances the food, especially the fish. When you do fish and you season it properly. And I got that from, because years ago, before they had any refrigerator and stuff like that, they season their food a lot, so it keeps it preserved. And your food, because you could go to a lot of places, and the sauce is what makes season the food, and the food has the seasoning the seasoning is in the food. So that's different. And then we cook cast iron pot, as you know, and the cast holds a lot of the flavor too. So that's a big difference.
Okay. Nice.
So what's your best seller at Cast Iron Pot? Like, what is it? The conch and butter? It has to be, right?
Conch for some reason, and then out of conch.
But I was thinking the second one. Okay, let me guess on this. So the first one has to be the conch and butter, right? Because that's like my favorite. But how about the pork chop? Because your pork chop is nice.
The pork chops, because what we do with the pork chops too, we grill it and we use a herb butter that we put on the grill just before it's finished. So we use basil, and we use garlic, and we use a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like I usually tell you, I can't tell you everything.
I know. Don't give, yeah. And you know, it's funny, Burton, because people are like, I'm not going to give my recipe up on the show. You know, it's like, I get it, you know, because people come in as, you know. So anyway, pork chops. Talk to us about it.
So that's like yes, the pork chops, the pot fish, and the conch. Those are the #1 sellers.
Nice.
Yes. And I can't forget the oxtail. I didn't realize so much people like oxtail. And still we started to do oxtail, and we had it on a special, and people keep asking for it every day. So now we oxtail on the menu every day because I didn't know people
I love oxtail.
How do you prepare the oxtail? I mean, don't give us everything, but like, how do just because people that are watching the show, you know, it's on Tempo in the States. Everyone, you know, some people might be like, "What's oxtail?" You know, I didn't know what oxtail was until I moved down to the Caribbean.
It's a bull tail. There's only one tail, and that's why I wonder how much oxtail do they have. But it's really like what we do with it is actually, again, we season it the night before, so the flavor could actually get into it, because you can't
marinating it. Yes,
it like that, because one of the things you find out about food, you might cook the food and it tastes, the sauce tastes good, but then when you eat the meat, you don't get that flavor out of the meat. So we season it the night before, and then after that, cook it for a long period of time so it could get soft, because it's really a tough piece of meat.
Yeah.
So after it gets soft, then actually we go through the process of actually adding in the mise en place, like the sweet pepper, the onions, and all that stuff. And then we saute that with the meat. And then after we finish that, then we add some, you know, stock to that. And then after that, we do some browning and color it. And then we add the potato and the carrots and stuff like that. And then it becomes a oxtail stew.
Yeah. I love it.
You know.
I love it. Get that with some peas and rice, and give me some pepper sauce.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. That's how it usually comes.
So talk to us about your local juices. I mean, do you guys make those in house, or do you?
Like I said,
a couple of them.
I can't take all the credit because my wife is the one that does most of the drinks too, because she does the ginger beer and stuff like that.
Okay.
Believe it or not, there's some recipes that she has from my mom that I don't have. That she does that I
things work like that sometimes.
I can't do it.
They skip us and they move on.
Like for instance, with the drink, she does the ginger beer, she does the passion fruit. And we have a passion fruit tree. She goes out, pick up the passion fruit, cuts them, take all the stuff.
Love it.
They do with the ginger. She grates the ginger and she put her own additives and stuff like that to it. And it's like the dessert too. She does the red grout. I can't do red grout. She does the red. So even if you pay me to do the red grout, I can't do the red grout. She does the red grout. So
Well, tell people what the red grout is, because a lot of people don't know what that is. Because that's a total local dessert.
Local dessert comes from way back. It's usually done Christmas time, between February. But since it's such a high demand, we try to do it all year round. But it's usually made from guava, and the guava, and the guava, it becomes like a gelatin, and the cream is what gives the enhancement of the dessert. So believe it or not, I was in Germany one time, and I was in a store, and I saw something like that, and it was similar to that, because I think it came back from the Danish time. So it's a European dessert, I think, if I'm not sure, but she's the one that does it. So I can't give you the ingredients for that, for sure.
We get it.
It's a good seller. It's a very good seller. It's usually around, like I said, the Christmas season. So, and then we do a bread pudding too, a local bread pudding, which is made with chocolate, and it's made with chocolate, coconut, ginger.
Did you say bread pudding?
Bread pudding, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's dessert that we do. So those are some of the desserts that she does.
So So, you know, when people come into Cast Iron Pot, I know, like, you have your menu up on that board, right? Yep. Okay. So let's just kind of go over like what you guys offer at Cast Iron Pot.
Well, on a daily basis, like I just said, the oxtail is like every day now.
And I'm sure you have a fish, some kind of fish. Yeah.
The
Codfish.
But the difference with pot fish is, again, too, I didn't even realize that so much people like old wife. The old wife is a pot fish too, but it's more like it's a white meat, like a steak. You have to take the skin and then you cook it. So all we do is flour it and then fry it, or we could steam it. But that's on the daily menu. The pot fish, the conch, the oxtail, the pork chops. We do a blackened salmon also, and we do some steaks, and the steaks are chops. So those are the everyday menu. And then the specials in the week, we will do maybe stew goat. Like today we did saltfish. We'll do maybe stew pork chops instead of the grilled pork chops. And then we have salmon bars, which we did, Jessica, you remember? We did salmon bars. And then also we have lobster. Yeah, so we do lobster. We do lobster 3 ways. We do it grilled, which is a everyday way. And we usually take it out the shell, and we'll do it with a Creole sauce or with a butter sauce. And Creole sauce, as you know, is done with sweet pepper, onions, tomato sauce, and reduce down. And then we put the lobster in there and stew it down, and then that's the stew lobster. And then we put it back into the shell.
Yeah, and it's nice for presentation that way. You know, because people, well, for us, it's just a nice presentation piece. You know, that he does that. But the Creole sauce, I would think that people would order the Creole sauce more than the butter sauce, right?
Definitely, you're right. Definitely. Creole is done more because like you could get a grilled lobster any place on the island usually, you know. But some places they do it, you know, they have their own whiskey sauce or some other kind of sauce. But we do it local, try to stay as local as we can. And like you were explaining the menu, and the menu we do have sides such as the seasoned rice, which is peas. We also have white rice. We have potato stuffing, macaroni cheese, plantain, and then we have the provision, which is a sweet potato, and so those are, and then we can't forget, Jessica, the Johnny cake.
Oh, I know.
Of course.
When we were driving around today, my daughter was hungry, and she's like, "I just want a pate and a Johnny." You know, and I was like, oh God, these kids. Okay, we're gonna find a pate and we'll find a Johnny cake because Mama has a show going on at 2:00, so we gotta like get home and feed you guys.
Yeah, she's
so, you know what I love, Burton, about your restaurant, and I love the location because it's in Princess, but also what I love is that you have like private dining.
Yes, we had 3 different rooms. Yes, 3 different rooms that we have. We have a room that up to 12 private, and then we have the bigger room, and then we have a next room that holds like maybe 20 something people,
which is great.
And then we did it outside now since the COVID. We have an outside shed where it's covered, so if you don't want to eat in the AC, you could go outside and have lunch or dinner outside under the tippet tree.
Right. How cool is that, Terry?
Isn't that
amazing?
Yeah.
But it's nice that he has private dining rooms because the inside, I like sitting in the inside because I like the action. I like people walking in, getting the to-go food, you know, like I like the table to the right. Well, I don't know what number that is, but I like that table. So usually when I bring people in, but I was like, God, this would be great for like business, you know, like have your people come in, call ahead, talk to Chef Burton, you know, like he'll come up with a menu and we'll call ahead with it.
Right.
Awesome. So Terry, it was funny because I talked to Chef this morning and I said, you know, we're doing our show today, and he was like, tell us about your catering this afternoon.
Well, we're preparing for tomorrow. It's not this tomorrow. So we're preparing for tomorrow, but it's a big one. It's like not really going there. We're preparing the food. They're gonna pick it up and go with it because of COVID.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, you can't go out and actually put food out and people solve themselves. According to the new rules now, even on cruise, you have to have somebody there to serve the food. Before you could actually leave the food and anybody pick up the food, you can't do that anymore. So it's a little harder now doing it because now we got to prepare the food, put the food individually and bag it and then send it out. So that's a lot of work. So we have a staff, we're working and prepping on that. So tomorrow we come in the morning, we're gonna go full blast and then get everything ready for lunch.
Okay.
So it's
because
a little
that's
different.
how we roll now. I mean, like, no one, you can't dine in. I mean, it's all to go food, and then you have to portion all the sauces out, because that's the awesome thing about West Indian food. Like, you guys always have these beautiful sauces. You know, we do, I should say. Okay, so what are your thoughts about like moving forward? I mean, the restaurant's going to stay open, of course.
Yeah, like we don't have to take it day to day, because like I said, we have been getting a lot of good support, because like I said, the shed has been, people have actually come and spread out under the shed. They're not actually close together. We have been trying different things. A couple weeks ago, we had this guy named Kevin Williams who plays steel pan, and he came out on Friday nights to do some steel pan. But due to the Christmas season, I think he had some more engagements for private homes and stuff, but we didn't have him back as yet. So we'll see what happens after the Christmas season, which is today is the last day, which today is the 6th, which would have been our big parade. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Today, week to week, and see what happens. But we're doing okay. We're all right. We can't complain.
Good.
And I'm glad to hear that you know, the community is still supporting, and because that's what makes the difference, right? You know, making sure that the community is coming out and purchasing a few food. And for all of those that are listening to us today, just encouraging you to support your local business, support your local restaurant, support your local bakery, whatever it is that you want to see continued in your neighborhood. Make sure that you're going to those places, especially now during this pandemic, because the revenues are shorter, and so we want to make sure that we have Burton after COVID. So yeah.
Like we said, if we can make it through COVID, then should be able to make it through everything else.
That's right. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I think we're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
Like you know, this is our peak time of the year, which is January, February, March, and it's really cold up in the States now. But because of COVID again, people won't be traveling like the way they usually do. So we'll have to day to day and see what happens, because anything could happen anytime. So we just going along and keeping our fingers crossed and praying to God that everything works out, and hoping to stay safe here. That's one of our biggest thing with COVID. We make sure that we check everyone that comes in, everybody gets a mask, make sure everything is okay, and keep cleaning and cleaning, because that's the most important thing right now. So
that's right. It's healthy.
Well, Terry's ready to come down, Burton.
Yes, I am.
she's like, I'm ready, because now that we worked together as colleagues on our taster show, thank you for doing that. She's like, oh my God, I'm ready to come down. And I was like, come on down, girl.
Absolutely. It's in the water, it's in the air. Yeah, I need all that. The sun, the water, the good food, I mean, cruising folks are all inclusive. So anything and everything. So I'm ready for all of that. Good time had by all.
Very nice. So we were waiting on you. No, we got you.
Absolutely. So another check for us, Jessica. I'm going to keep Jessica busy when I come.
I know. I need to get in my list. I didn't start our list of things that we have to do, like the top 10 things we have to do.
Exactly.
So, Burton, how can our audience find you?
We're on Facebook. Cast Iron Pot is on Facebook.
Okay.
Cast Iron Pot St. Croix, or else you'll just get a St. Croix.
We don't have a website, but we have an email. You can email me at Burton, BURTON, T for top, C for class, which is top class catering, Peterson, PETERSON at yahoo.com.
Awesome.
So that's our connection.
Now let's talk about your hours of operation, because I know with this pandemic, it's been crazy. It's like people are opening up this, like we never know when people are open up. So tell us about your hours of operation.
We we're closed Sundays, but we open Tuesday, Wednesdays from 11 to 5.
11 to 5. Okay.
Yes. And then Thursdays, we open from 11 to 8. Fridays, 11 to 8, and Saturday we open 11 to 8.
Okay.
What happens? We try to spill over a little bit of that dinner menu, and Thursday, Friday. But until things change, we'll see what we can do. If we really would like to open for brunch, which is a Sunday brunch, but right now, like I said, everything is on stand.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what take it day to day. But
That's
for the
right.
past March is gonna make us 6 years.
All right. Yeah. Woo.
And I love your location. I mean, Terry has plenty of parking, and it's in this old or renovated house that he has the kitchen in, and it's really like West Indian. And like he has the front dining room, he has the porch, like you said, he has the outdoor dining now. Then he has all these rooms. It's really cool.
Nice.
It used to be a school before we took it over, and
then
really okay.
School. We transformed it into a restaurant where we took the classrooms, and that's why we made the different rooms into different dining rooms. But I want to let people know sometimes people say, oh, I'm not going there, they're so full. Sometimes, like right now, next door, we have a meeting. Sometimes people come and they rent the room, and they might have a lot of cars, but the dining room is empty. You see a lot of parking lot, and then they think, oh, I might get a seat. No, it's not like that. We have, and then some come here, as you know, Jessica, and they see the one room, and then we bring them to the back, and then they say, "Oh, we didn't know we had this much room in here." The front looks small, but it's like a ship, and the back has a lot of room in the back, but the front looks very. So we like to let people know, don't let the cars scare you.
And to be honest with you, you probably have one of the biggest dining rooms on island right now, because you have that back room, that middle room, and then the front room, plus when you walk in that room, right? And then you have the outdoor seating.
And then we have the outdoors, and
so I mean, you can accommodate a lot of people. So yeah, don't let the cars scare you during the pandemic, for sure. So do you recommend that people make reservations to come?
Always have reservations, because that way you know you're guaranteed of having a seat. Because what happens sometimes, people will walk up about maybe 8 o'clock, you know, and we just getting ready to close because it was a slow night. Nobody was here. So once we know we got a reservation, we know we have to hold on until you get here for 7:45, 30. So reservations are very important, you know. It's good to walk in too. And like I said, but when you're walking, it's always good to walk in early, not late, you know. So that's
and I always tell my friends, I was like, I always make reservations for wherever I go, so they know we're coming. So you don't have to turn around and like try to find another restaurant, especially when you're dining with, you know, an extra 2 people or whatever.
And what's good about it, sometimes you might have a function, and then you say they might come with maybe 10 people, and you say, well, no, we can't accommodate you because we already have those rooms already full. So it's good to always have any place you go. I think, you know, it's not just here, but any place you have reservations.
All right. Good
stuff. Well, in closing, is there anything else you want to add? Like you're doing, I'm sure, private catering.
Yes. Well, we used to do a lot of homes before we had this, but now because of the amount of people that we have working on us, we can't actually go to homes, and we can't do homes that much anymore too because of the pandemic anyhow. We don't do that much. Yeah, because of the pandemic, that's one thing. But what I like to say is, combine and support us. We need your support. And like I said, if there's something that you want and we don't have, just tell us and we'll do it. Because we just had a couple that came in from North Carolina. They just had lunch, and they were emailing back and forth. And the wife, she doesn't eat any salt. She doesn't want any seasoning. And we did it, chicken for her, but she wanted rice without salt. So I told her I wouldn't be able to do this one scoop of rice like that. But she had a baked potato, and it was a special request, and we did it. But the husband, he had stewed goat, stuffing, seasoned rice. He had everything.
He had the works. He said, give me the works, baby.
Just tell us what you want, and we'll be able to do it for you. And you know, requests and reservations are good, like I said, but it's like we're actually trying to build, still building. Although we're here, we're trying to do whatever we can to please our customers, because people come with all kind of requests, and like I said, we're here to actually say we can or we cannot. But just don't assume that we can do something. We could do anything. We could try and do anything, and we want to please the customers, especially not just our locals that are here, but the people that comes in from away that wants to try food, because sometimes people are scared of trying this or scared of trying that. That's why you have to be able to let this wait staff know. You have to be able to explain to them what it is and what's inside of it, because you'll be surprised when you want to try goat and they try to go and they say, "Oh my God, it was so good," because they're scared. You know, they're seeing a goat, but it won't. So that's so that. In my class, I'll say, try anything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, that's like the first time when I was doing Best Bites, like years ago. I mean, you know, they're like, no, you need to eat the whole fish, like the cheeks, the eyes. And I was like, I'm not eating those eyes. No. They're like, no, you have to.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah, we
just
have
like, you go when I came to South Carolina.
Cheekbones? I was like, okay.
No,
so
they're like fish head on or off.
Now you know how to actually eat old white fish, you know?
I thought about that because we had some guests, some ladies here from Atlanta the other night saying, no fish head, no fish head.
No fish head, head off, head off.
Head off, you know. But when we brought the fish, because the presentation of our pot fish is basically the whole fish.
Totally.
And when they saw it, it was different. So they took the head and put it on the side, but they ate the whole fish.
It's so good. It's so good.
You know, sometimes, like I said, it's up to the wait or the wait staff to explain to the person what's the meal. You know, that makes a big difference. You just can't walk up and say like, fish on, head off, or you can't come to a customer and say, fish head off or head on. You know.
It is what it is. That's the presentation, and that's on the menu, and this is what you're getting.
Yeah, or else they have a salmon, or just have a mahi.
Yeah.
To try food, you have to try it to the extent of how it's really prepared. You know.
Totally. I agree. I mean, that's I've done that through Best Bites. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Burton. Awesome presentation.
Happy Free Tuesday. Happy New Year.
Absolutely.
Same to you.
Thank you for making time for us today. Terry, until next week, Missy.
Until next week. Anthony, see you guys later.
When are we going to cast iron next?
Oh, yeah. We got cast iron on that. We got cast iron on that list now, Anthony.
we got to take the camera into the restaurant. I thought I saw a presentation of food in front of them.
Yeah, I was before.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So we never got to talk to the food.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought we were going to talk about the food. So I guess we're now going to have to take the camera in there. Yes, we can see it. Yes.
So what do we have in front of us, Burton?
Did we lose him?
It looks he's here.
That's the sour fish in the bowl, and then we have the dumplings. This is the dumplings. This is the okra here, the boiled egg, vegetables, your sweet potato, and your green.
Gosh, it looks like he's having some technical issues.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you move around that camera or that phone,
Yeah.
But give him a second. Give him a second.
So while he does that, what I'm queuing up is I want to exit with with one final piece. I think the last year carnival when Governor Bryan became governor, and it was his first parade as governor, and so I wanted to share that as well with the audience. So I think
I gotta mention Georgia.
Oh, go ahead. What's going on?
So Reverend Warnock won, and Ossoff is in the lead. So we'll see what happens if we're going to take the Senate. So those are good stuff. That's good stuff. And big shout out to Stacey Abrams, who's really bringing Georgia home for everybody. So just wanted to mention Georgia.
It's gonna be a big day.
It's gonna be a huge day.
Absolutely. And Jessica is not a political, she's not a political person like you, Terry, but You know, I'm sure she can appreciate, you know, what the theater of politics that's taking place right now. You know, we don't get into politics.
No, we don't.
Not on camera.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just queued up the video, and so this is what you're looking at is the governor's viewing stand, right? The judges and the governor's viewing stand, Terry. So what happens is that all of the entries in the parade, they come and they perform right in front of the judge's stand and governor's stand. And so this is what this piece is. So I'm gonna play this piece to take us out. And guys, thank you so much for doing a great job.
Thank you so much, everyone. And Terry, just FYI, those are some of the Mocha Jumbies.
Ah, okay. Look at the baby.
Wow. Yeah, cool.
I don't care what they say.
All right, guys, I gotta jump off. Take care.
Terry, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'll see you next week.
Okay.